back again, new vid. I know I'm playing Town again, but I'm not gonna lie, I've completely forgot to play Mob and any of the other maps, so I'm relearning them. So in the next vid, I should be playing Mob or Origins or something like that. But I'm gonna cut straight to it. So in today's vid, I want to talk about purpose and why purpose is so important to you, and why. Just turn it down super loud. And why purpose means everything. And why purpose is everything that creates you human and creates you as a person, so you're not like everyone else. Or a hobby, needing to find a hobby which gives you purpose, technically. So, this thought has been on my mind quite a lot. I already made a video about it. It was my first video, but it just didn't plan out, like I said. I've said a few times, but I believe purpose is the sole reason you live. Purpose is the sole reason as to why you exist as a human. Because without it, we become lost, wandering, unaware of anything, and unwanting of anything. Not wanting to achieve a goal. You don't have a goal to achieve because you don't believe in anything. You don't believe in a goal. And this is why I believe purpose is the most important thing for humans to have. Because it seems to me, from what I've learned and from what I've experienced, that someone without purpose it leads to every other problem that you could think of. Depression, anxiety, other mental issues, other mental health issues, because that's what I've seen, and it seems to be. So I don't know why I'm playing so bad, but it seems to be very evident that without a purpose, a human being is nothing. They're very lost. They succumb to misery. They become the thing that they hate, because no human has the inert, however you say it, inert desire to be nothing. You don't have the desire to achieve nothing. We're all born with the want to achieve something, whether that's make a family, publish a book, something like that. People have goals, and when you have none, you become lost. You become like some sort of wandering soul, because you have no goal to achieve. You become empty. That sinking feeling in your chest comes back, and no one likes that feeling. I know for a fact I don't. And I'm talking about this because I've recently experienced this again, and I've met people recently again who have this same thing going on. They have no purpose, and it's quite strange to me, because I believe now I've found my purpose, and I think I knew I have. I knew I'd found my purpose, but I have my doubts about it. I have my doubts saying, oh, is it going to work out? Is it really ever going to become something that I can live off and be successful and be proud of? Which is, that's normal. Especially in the early days, you're gonna think, I'm a failure. I haven't achieved something absolutely astronomical in the start, and it's like, you haven't even started yet. But I also recently met someone again that was saying, they felt fucking depressed. They were miserable as fuck. I'm not saying that's shit. If you ever watch this video, you know who you are. And they said they didn't enjoy anything. They didn't have a desire to do anything. Basically, they were just rotting. Rot maxing, as they, we all love rot maxing. They had no goal. they had no purpose. And I was trying to give them examples of things that they could do to achieve, you know, the thought of, no, not the thought, but the enlightenment of purpose. Because it is an enlightenment, you know, it feels amazing once you find your purpose. It's like, I've got something to live for. And it sounds so simple, you know. It is simple, it's extremely simple, but you would always overpass it. You know, purpose generates everything for you. Purpose generates happiness, it generates determination, pride, you know, will, love. You know, it produces all these things because you have to put all those things into your work to achieve purpose. You can't achieve those things without those attributes. And it gives them back to you. You know, it gives them back. But this person, you know, I was trying to give them examples like musician, dance, painting, cooking, anything, you know, a thing that gives you joy. And they were just like, every time I said it was just no. I just couldn't grasp it, you know. I couldn't understand like what it was, like why I didn't understand that, which is kind of ignorant from me. But I'm saying I didn't understand it. I did, because I've been there. I keep getting the fucking Warhammer every time I record. I swear to God, he's a fucking piece of shit. Fuck, man. And I suppose I was confused, but also understanding at the same time, which is kind of weird, because, you know, I've been there, but maybe to not that extent. I have not been to that extent where, well, I have, but like, I don't think for very long, where I was like, there's nothing I want to do in my life. You know, I've always known I've wanted to do something creative, or something I can build a community around, and like build something and be proud of it, you know what I mean? But this person didn't have any of that. You know, maybe they didn't enjoy something creative or that kind of stuff, and maybe I was ignorant and I didn't really understand it. I didn't say it to their face because, you know, I have respect for that person. I've known that person for a long time. I would never disrespect them, because I have no reason to, anyway. But I was just confused, and, you know, I was trying to give them options, and it just seemed like nothing was getting through, which it kind of gave me a strange feeling of like being hurt by that. Because obviously I know this person, and, you know, I've known them for a long time. They've been, you know, pretty close to me. You know, it kind of struck a nerve, not in a way that made me mad, but I was like, shit, like, but it kind of struck a nerve where I was like, shit, like, you know, I don't want to see you go out like this, you know. I don't want that to happen, you know. But it just really put into perspective that if you don't have a purpose in any way, what the bro? What the it literally had to quick revive. This is fucking shit, bro. It made me very feel like a very confused feeling, but also like, damn, like you really like that, like, you know, you need to find something, otherwise it will just eat you alive, you know. Having no purpose just eats you alive. Everything that I said before, it causes those things, you know. Depression, anxiety, just being unhappy with yourself and everything that you do because you don't see the purpose in it. Which could stem, obviously these things could stem from depression itself, but having no purpose doesn't help with it, you know. It's basically just, if you think about it, it's like an aggressor to it, you know. It like attaches onto it. It's like a symbiotic relationship. It attaches onto it and just makes it worse. But you can't, you know, you can't see that because it's, you know, you're already fucking depressed, you know. You don't see the negatives because everything already seems negative. But, you know, once I found my purpose, life just became better, you know. To put it very shortly, life became a whole lot more enjoyable because I had things to live for. You know, I had something to live for. I'm not saying I didn't have, you know, my family and stuff. Obviously, you know, I'll always live for my family and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, that's not for me. as selfish as it sounds, but that's not for me. In my life, I should come first. Obviously family and stuff like that as well. But in a non-selfish way, you come first because you are you. You need to take care of yourself. No one else is gonna take care of you. No one's gonna save you. You know what I mean? And I said that to the person. I was like, no one is coming to save you. I can't do it. Your mum can't do it. Your friends can't do it. No one's coming to save you. And once you realise that, you really start to understand that, right, I need to get my shit together. Because what the fuck is going on? I apologise for shit gameplay. I don't know what's happening. I think my control's a bit fucked because I don't know if you've been seeing it. I've got stick drift. But anyway, you need to get your shit together. You're never going to get any younger. And you need to realise your purpose sooner rather than later. Because once you realise it sooner, life becomes a whole lot easier. Life's not easy, but it becomes more bearable and easy. Because you understand the things that make you happy, and you can do it consistently. I think that's the main part of finding a purpose, is something that you can do consistently that makes you genuinely happy, not like a temporary happiness, i.e. drugs, alcohol, sleeping with people all the time, etc. Some shit like that. I don't know. That doesn't bring you joy, that doesn't bring you happiness, that brings you false sense of fulfillment, because it's basically you're getting attention from something or someone, and that's not true enjoyment. So you need to understand the things that you like and how you can make that something you can live with or live off, is what I'm trying to say, and make yourself happy doing it. There's a lot of people I know, a lot of people my age, who genuinely have no purpose in their life. They went through, like, I'm not disrespecting these people, because I was the exact same, but I know there's a lot of people still my age like this, but who've gone through life and not had a second thought on what they want to do or what they want to be, and they end up cutting themselves short because they're just doing things to try and find fulfillment out of something that they either know they're not going to enjoy, or they are just doing it to do it, And there's a lot of people my age who are doing stuff like that, and there's a lot of people who I know doing that personally, or like that my friends know and spoke about it or whatever. It's kind of like, wow, these people really went down that route, because it all kind of just loops back to them not having. That's an annoying double points. But it all kind of loops back round to them having no purpose, or not finding their purpose yet. Nothing good comes out of not having a purpose, is what I'm trying to say, really. And for me, I have points in time, like I said, where I start to think that. Those periods, I hate them. I'll just be sat down, it'll be late at night, and I'll just be thinking too much about it. And I get that empty feeling in my chest, and then I'm just like, shit. Is what I'm doing, does it really matter? Will it get me anywhere in life? Do I have a point, or am I pointless being here? When I get that feeling, that shit fucking hurts, That shit hurts me more than fucking what anyone else could say to me. I couldn't give a fuck what someone says to me about whatever I'm doing, but that feeling, that emptiness, the feeling you have no purpose, that's worse than what anyone else could ever say to me. I think that's why I understand where people come from, feeling like they have no purpose. It's an awful feeling, but I feel like because you're so clouded by like the misery, the sadness of it all, of feeling worthless and purposeless, that you don't understand, or you don't give yourself the time to think, like, right, is it my purpose, or is it my surroundings? Is there something blocking me from finding my purpose? And the thing is, it could take people years to find these things out, 1, 2, 3, 5, 20 years, 10 years, you know what I mean? Like, this stuff doesn't happen overnight, and it never will, it never will happen overnight. Like, fucking Rome was built in a day. You can say that for yourself, You weren't built in a day, you know. Your purpose isn't going to be built in a day. All good things come with time, you know. There was never anything that was so good and it came out instantly, and you know, stuff like that doesn't stick around for long enough. It doesn't become memorable. So build a purpose for yourself that becomes memorable. For yourself. For anyone else but yourself. And if other people find it memorable and it becomes memorable for them, then that's amazing. You've touched people, you know, you pause. You know, you've hit home for some people, you know. You've become relatable to people. Either, whether that's through whatever you make, whatever you do, your purpose, you know. Whether that's working a 9 to 5 and, you know, helping people, you know, building homes, or it's making videos like this, or it's being a streamer, or a musician, or a painter, or a chef, you know, anything, literally anything that gives you the feeling of fulfillment, because, you know, that is a feeling to chase, in my opinion. And I don't think you should chase many things really in life, but fulfillment in the good things is one of them, most definitely, because that feeling of being proud of something you've made is unbeatable. That's something you can be like, I did that. It sounds so simple, because it is. Not having a purpose will cause the downfall of yourself. And you might be questioning why, you know, why these things happen. Do you have something to live for? Whether that's family, your kids, yourself, your mum, your sister, your dad, your dog, music, games, making content, you know, anything. And don't get me wrong, you know, I'm not saying fucking having a purpose will cure your fucking depression, because it won't. I mean, it can help. Like I said, it helps. It just helps you feel alive, you know. It helps you feel human again, rather than feeling like a shell. You know, like, you might need help finding your purpose as well. I know I did. I knew I always liked doing what I was doing, you know, the things that I do. And I know I kind of keep it vague, but that's how I want to keep it. But, you know, I had a friend that I met in my, second year of college? I think, yeah, my last year of college. And I always wanted to do, you know, what I was doing, but I never knew how to do it. You know, I never knew how to take charge of it and, you know, go for it. But this guy showed me, you know, it doesn't always have to be so complicated. You don't have to overthink it all the time. You know, take your time, understand how things work, and achieve it. Achieve something, you know. You might need help. You can't be stubborn, you know. Like, I used to be super stubborn. I was like, nah, I don't want any help. I don't want any help. I'll do it all myself. Like, bro, things don't work like that sometimes. Sometimes you need to ask for help. Sometimes you need to be open to it. And when it comes, ask for, you know, appreciate the help. Don't be like, I don't need it really. Well, you know, this person's just, you know, giving their time and their hand to you to help you. Be appreciative of it. And that's what I was like for this, you know, this one friend. And you know, I appreciate that guy heavily. You know, he's helped me so much. He's helped me, you know, understand, like, my purpose. And he'd probably be saying, if he ever watches this, he'd be like, bro, you're glazing right now. But, like, you know, is what it is. You know, he helped me unlock, like, the further progression into my purpose. You know, I became more aware that that is what I want to do. That is what I, you know, truly live for. And there's nothing else on the planet that could really make me feel like the fulfillment and the happiness that brings me. And now that I've learned those things, you know, I've got other friends who want to learn that skill, and I'm teaching them. You know, I'm passing down the purpose. I'm passing down the skills, and that feels good too. You know, to be able to help someone to learn their purpose, because I know what it feels like to have none, and I know what it feels like to, you know, feel worthless and not have a purpose, bars, and just feel like you don't belong. You know, you don't belong on the fucking planet because you have nothing to give. You know, you have nothing to offer to the planet. And you just feel like, well, what's the point of me even being here? So I understand that, and that's why, you know, I want to help, you know, especially my friends, to understand what their purpose is. You know, I had a conversation recently with one of my friends who's in university, and he doesn't know what he's going to do after university. And I was saying to him that you don't have to know right now, but as long as you find a purpose, you know, you find something that gives you a reason to want to keep going, then that's what you live for. You know, you live for that thing, you know, in a metaphorical and physical sense. Sometimes you achieve the goal that you've seen. You don't cut corners, you do your shit, you know, you achieve that goal. I was quite understanding that he didn't know what he wanted to do after university, because there's a lot of people like that, you know, and it's okay to be like that. But allowing yourself to stay like that, yeah, again, that's just, it's not beneficial to anybody, you know. I'm not saying, you know, not to sound like a capitalist, but who are you useful to? Because you're definitely not useful to yourself. So you've got to try and be useful to yourself. You know, I feel like everything just ties back around to it. Everything in life ties back around to having a purpose. A fucking pot has a purpose. A pan has a purpose. A PlayStation has a purpose. You know, and I know these are weird, like, metaphors, but it kind of puts it into perspective. You know, everything has a purpose. So why would you not want one? Why would you not want to look for a purpose? It is hard, you know. It's hard, and it's painful sometimes trying to find your purpose. You know, it can be a long journey. It can be a very short journey, depending on who you are, what you want to achieve. You know, not everything happens overnight, which is what I think a lot of people think will happen for their purpose, and they're like, oh, like, if I don't get it now, what's the point? But that's the whole point of it. You don't get it right now. You get to have the story of being the underdog and experiencing it all from the beginning, from the start. The times of trial and error, the times of pain. You know, put your pain on a page, you know, and you have that story to tell to people. You'd be like, yeah, I did that shit. You know? Be proud of it. Yeah, I think I'll leave this video here. I'm a little bit tired now. I know I'm a little bit rusty still for these vids, but I'm getting back into it. I know it was a long while since I uploaded, and honestly I think the vids I dropped before this flopped completely, but it is what it is, you know. Keep moving. That's another thing. Just keep going at your purpose. Things might seem bleak at the start, but you've got to keep going. You know, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, regardless if it takes you, you know. Things that happen overnight, so don't expect them to. I'm appreciative if anyone watches this, comments. Oh yeah, again, I always reply. Hopefully, new video again soon. I've been a little bit busy. My job's like giving me more hours, so I'm a little bit busy, and I'm trying to, you know, work on my purpose, my actual stuff that I'm actually doing. I appreciate anyone watches, comments, likes, subscribes, and I'll see you all in the next vid.